Welcome to the Job Accommodation Network, a free service of the U.S. Department of Labor's Office of Disability Employment Policy and the nation's premier workplace accommodation resource. We are JAN. Our comprehensive services include technical assistance, training, and research on workplace accommodations and the Americans with Disabilities Act. Anyone can use our services, but our biggest customers are employers and individuals with disabilities. Most people access our services by calling us. Prior to 1992, JAN averaged 630 accommodation calls per month, but in 1992, when the ADA went into effect for employers, these soared to over 1,600 per month. Currently, per year, JAN consultants handle about 38,000 inquiries via telephone and email, and nearly 5 million customers visit the JAN website. As you might imagine, many of the questions we get are about technologies to improve workplace productivity for employees with disabilities. As computers, office machines, cell phones, wireless communication, and similar technology become common in workplaces, employees with all types of impairments need to be able to use the technology. JAN consultants have in-depth knowledge about all types of technologies, and we'd like to show you a few examples. Here you see Cheryl using speech recognition software to input data into her computer. This technology allows Cheryl to use her voice to perform all the functions she could perform if she was typing in her keyboard. This technology is useful for employees who do not have full use of their hands. Here is Suzanne using a handheld scanner. A handheld scanner is a portable device that scans a word and provides auditory feedback, which can be useful for employees with learning disabilities that affect reading. And here's Bob showing another example of technology that can improve the productivity of an employee with a disability. Bob is using a one-handed keyboard, which can help employees with conditions such as amputations, repetitive strain injuries, or limitations from a stroke. There are thousands of other products available, and JAN can help you identify a product that works for you. JAN consultants also provide technical assistance through various media. For example, here are Melanie and Lou working on one of JAN's monthly webcasts. These webcasts cover a range of topics such as disability management, legal issues, and of course, workplace accommodations. JAN also presents and exhibits at various national and regional conferences. Here are Kendra and Lou doing a presentation in front of the JAN exhibit. Whenever we provide materials at an exhibit, we always provide alternative formats such as Braille, large print, text, and MP3s. JAN is also strongly committed to serving our Hispanic American workforce. JAN's outreach efforts include consultation and technical assistance in Spanish. Here is Liz Mary translating for a Spanish-speaking customer. One of the exciting things JAN is doing is researching the costs and benefits of accommodations. Fearful of high costs? Well, you don't need to be. Initial JAN data show that about 50% of all workplace accommodations cost nothing. For example, here is Eddie, who was accommodated at no cost. It took only a small saw and a few minutes to cut the legs off his desk so he could work effectively. And of course, JAN has entered the virtual world and started looking at the accessibility of social networks such as Facebook and Twitter. We've also ventured into Second Life. Here we have a picture of the JAN avatar, aptly named Jan Zomatron, working our virtual booth. Visit her there if you get a chance. JAN provides all this technical assistance and information free of charge. All communications are confidential and available to anyone interested in workplace accommodation. We'd like to leave you with one message. Many of you know the term job accommodation, but we like to think of it as increasing workplace productivity by investing in our workplace. Let's do the math. Nearly half of all accommodations cost nothing. When there is a cost to an accommodation, the typical cost of a job accommodation is $500. The reported benefit of implementing a job accommodation is $10 for every dollar spent. Make the investment. Start with JAN. We're here for you. Contact JAN at 800-526-7234 for voice, 877-781-9403 for TTY, or www.jan.wvu.edu. This multimedia was developed and produced by the Job Accommodation Network, funded by a contract agreement from the U.S. Department of Labor, Office of Disability Employment Policy, DOL 079 RP 20426. The opinions expressed herein do not necessarily reflect the position or policy of the U.S. Department of Labor, nor does mention of trade names, commercial products, or organizations imply endorsement by the U.S. Department of Labor.